We're back. And we're back with something a little different. We're gonna be doing a weekly little outlook today, just on the week. Do a little top-down analysis. Not really any daily biases. I'm gonna try to keep bias like neutral in this. That's what I like to do during my top-down analysis. Most of the time I like to keep my bias neutral because once you have a bias, it's just a lot easier to stick to that bias and get screwed over by your own bias. Um, but yeah, I already started cooking up a little bit earlier today. I was on the road earlier today. I took my computer with me, started cooking up a little bit. Um, Let me get on the weekly chart and start spitting some sauce to y'all real quick. So yeah, pretty much, and then I'm gonna be moving all this over to a fresh QQQ chart as well. So I'm gonna be charting it as well. Along with you guys. This might be a long ass video. I don't know how long I'm gonna make it, how short I'm gonna make it, but I just want it to be as detailed and as thorough as possible so people can understand the things I'm seeing, I guess. If it even fucking matters to people. And it's for me as well, because just this is pretty much another form of journaling as well. But yeah, looking at this chart, we have what I'm going to be eyeing pretty closely this week is this order block right here, this weekly order block. I'm going to be seeing if we either use it as a bullish order block or we keep closing below and use it as a bearish breaker block to seek either these lows down here or the bullish order block and then seek all-time highs. You feel me? So let's go ahead and go over here and mark this order block out. This weekly order block. Bruh. What the fuck? What the hell? Bro, what my trading view doing, bro? My trading view is cooked, bro. Like literally cooked. Like I even installed the app like not a few seconds ago, but earlier today. And then I was gonna use that to record. And then it just started geeking out on me. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just switch back to the website real quick. Uh, I'm just doing it gray because I mean I'm not really too sure why gray, but I'm gonna be doing different colors for each imbalance, or not each imbalance, but each separate time frame imbalance. Like weekly, I'm gonna have a different color. Daily, I'm gonna have a different color, so on and so forth. What else do I have different colors on? I mean, nothing else really. And then the colors don't really matter. The only time I like to keep them not red or green when I'm neutral on them, and then once I see them confirmed or flipped and confirmed, I like to like swap them over to either red or green, whichever one it is. Like, so for example, if this order block gets used, right, as a bullish order block, and we see that and we close above and start using it, then I'll switch it over to green so I know it's a buy zone, obviously. But like as it's stagnant and we don't know currently, I like to keep it as like a neutral color, like how these orange ones are, like these fair value gaps and everything like that, because you just never know how they're going to be used until the market shows you, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't want to give myself like a bias just like by putting like a green fucking thing right here or a red thing and then just being like, oh, we're in this zone, fucking short the fuck out of this shit. Like, nah, you need something else other than that. You need fucking confirmation, you need other confluences. You need to just make sure everything on the checklist is right before you enter the trade, bro. Like, but yeah, we got that weekly order block. Uh, Add the text. And then I also put for this one like a slash and then possible negative breaker block because we're gonna wait and see what happens with this and see if it's gonna be used as a breaker block or used as a bullish order block. And that's pretty much gonna determine the price action for the week. That's what I'm gonna be looking at. I'll just say BB. All right, and then other than that, we also have this weekly inverted for value gap up here. Bro, fuck this shit. I literally just tried to buy premium, bro. A whole year of premium, but it wouldn't let me, bro. Anyway, we also have this weekly inverted fair value gap up here I marked out. And inverted fair value gap, if you don't know, it's pretty much, well, so first off, a fair value gap is pretty much just a three candle move with a gap between the first candle or the first candle's wick and the third candle's wick. So right here we have a gap between these three candles, and this orange zone is that gap. And at first it was a bullish fair value gap, and that is what a fair value gap is. But now that we have inverted it, as you can see right here with this big ass black candle, actually these two black candles right here inversed it, and then we reached back into it and also used it to sell off even harder through another low. But that's pretty much what an inverse fair value gap is. It's when price inverses a fair value gap, and then that can be used as an inverse confluence, if you can see what I'm saying. So I also marked that out just in case if we use this as a bullish order block and we use this as a higher time frame like place to sell off slightly back into it and to reach higher or just anything like you know what I'm saying. I just marked it out. We also have this bullish fair value gap down here, like what I was saying. Just a three candle move with a gap between these wicks. You can see how it was being used right here. We wicked below this low and then wicked into this fair value gap, and it started generating enough liquidity to start buying up. But will it be enough liquidity to keep buying up? We will have to see. Um, What else? That's really all there is for confluences that I'm seeing on like the weekly chart. I mean, we do have like this big ass weekly bit order block, but I'm just keeping the inverted fair value gap because it's a smaller, more pinpoint area than that big ass order block. I don't really like having big fucking because like that's literally like 1,000 point order block. Like I ain't trying to fucking sit there and have 1,000 point confluence. But anyway, that's the weekly chart, and then I marked out just pretty much significant highs on the weekly chart, which I kept these different colors as well. I kept the weeklies blue. Pretty much, I just marked out all-time high and then the high of the order block. And then for the lows, I just marked out these relatively equal lows down here. And then these relatively equal lows right here on this order block, breaker block-ish as well. And those could be pretty good targets. I'm not saying maybe this week, but if we are using this as a breaker block, we could be targeting all the way down here in the next coming weeks, if you see what I'm saying. And then vice versa, if we use this as a bullish order block, we could be targeting all-time high in the next coming weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and uh yeah, I'll go ahead and fill this all out over here as well. I might as well. I'll just sauce up real quick. And then we'll go down to the daily chart. I think this week is just going to be straight and simple. It's just going to be watching what price really wants to do, if it wants to break lower or hold and continue higher. I think this week is going to be, I'd say, mid-level difficulty. I'd say like I want to say relatively easy once I'd say after Monday and to like maybe into Tuesday, and once we see the price on Monday, I'd say maybe Tuesday morning. The rest of the week should be probably easy to see out. We just need to see how this shit opens up on Monday. Okay, let me sauce up real quick. My bad, my bad. It shouldn't even take long. It should take like fucking literally less than like a minute, bro. Oh, not what what we doing. Bro's lost in the sauce. All right, and then mark out those highs. Horizontal, all-time high, high of the order block. Go ahead and switch the colors so I don't have to for the next ones. Wow. These relative equal lows right here. And then this low, these relative. All right, all right, all right. I won't type anything out for those for now. Now let's go down into the daily time frame. This is where I ended up stopping. I just did the daily and then stopped. So we'll go into the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 possibly, and 5. I'm not sure about 15 and 5, but we probably just won't mark really anything on 15 and 5. We'll probably just talk about everything real fast. But for weekly outlook, I like to just look at weekly, daily, 4 hour, maybe 1 hour, 15. But like once you get to the 1 hour and scale down, that's when you get to like day trading. That's when you're actively looking for a trade. Right now, I'm just looking for my weekly outlook. Simple as that. Um, yeah, for the daily confluences, they're all going to be, yeah, they're going to be the purple confluence right here. I just marked out this daily order block. That's pretty much all we have. I mean, we do have this breaker block up here inside of the weekly inverted fair value gap. That could also be, I might actually mark that out. Nah. Too many confluences, low key. Um, but yeah, we have this daily negative order block that I marked out. We're already wicking into that and using it. Um, not sure if we're gonna seek out a low out from that, but I would love to see some kind of thing, like some kind of action, price action like that come out of that. Because what I want to see out of this week is just a reach into this order block, a close back below the weekly order block, or I mean, yeah, the weekly bullish order block to make it a weekly breaker block. There's so many fucking just words just tangling up. Oh my God. Um, but yeah, just close below the weekly bullish order block to make it a breaker block, and then we can further use that to sell off into these lows. That's what I would love to see. But if market wants to, it can use this as this gray area right here as a bullish confluence to break back above this, use this as a bullish breaker, and then we just shift structure because this is also a sweep of liquidity under this low, this significant low rate over here. So we could just be sweeping this low and ultimately going up to ultimate high. As simple as that. It could just be IRL to ERL, but it's just whatever market permits, whatever market shows us. And then for the highs and lows, I marked pretty much just marked this significant high of this big ass fucking black candle after this order block. I marked the high of the order block, and then for the lows, I marked the low of this big ass black candle, and then the low of the last day, pretty much. Um, go ahead and mark all that shit out on here. And shouldn't take too long. I have less, there's less confluences for the daily that I've marked out as well. Negative order block. I don't even know if that's straight, bro. That is not straight at all. So, all right, that's straight enough for right now. And then for the highs and lows, start marking that shit up. Got the high of this candle right here. That looks pretty significant. And the way I'm finding these highs is just from experience. And one thing I love to say is low hanging fruit. That's one thing I've learned from Casper SMC. It's just look and see which highs and lows look just out of the ordinary. Like, look at this one. This just looks juicy. It looks out of the ordinary. You feel me? It's standing out. And then this other one right here that I'm marking out, the high of the order block, I'm marking that out due to personal reasons. Because a lot recently, I don't know if it probably hasn't changed, like the market doesn't change and make new strategies or anything, but I don't know how I haven't noticed this before, but a lot of the times with order blocks, I am now seeing that it loves to like go to the wick to the high or low of the order block, like and then wick above or below it, and then continue and use it instead of just using the bodies. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's literally a thing because I know people mark out the wicks, but I'm talking about like literally will sweep the high of the order block wick and then continue to this low all the way the fuck down here. That's what I'm talking about. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that does at all, but that's what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense. And then for the lows, we got, I mean, this is pretty relative equal. Got those, and then this one right here, previous day. All right, got all that marked out. Now let's go into the 4 hour and see if we can see anything else that catches our eye. Oh, wow, would you look at that? On the 4 hour, we're already wicking into the daily order block and just completely dumping. No, I'm just playing, not completely dumping, but you see what I mean? Like with the higher time frame confluences, you can expect some kind of movement out of it. It might not be like always like something like this shit, but you can always expect like some kind of move out of a higher time frame. Like even if it's a small retracement, at least it's something. At least you know it's gonna do something. At least you know it's like almost guaranteed. That's why I love using a higher time frame and then using lower time frame like entries. I use higher time frame confluences with lower time frame entries, and then the lower time frame entries also have their own confluences. Uh, but looking at the 4 hour, ooh, low key. I have a little 4 hour breaker block right here. Nice big ass candle going through it. There's also one up here, but I would love to see this being used. I would just because all the way up here just doesn't seem right to like I don't know. Like it could be right, but you know what I'm saying. Like color should I make this one? I don't want to make it like a any bias color. I'm gonna just make it blue as fuck. Got a 4 hour negative breaker block right here. And there's a big ass candle with a fair value gap in there. So yeah, I honestly what I would like to see is just this big ass fair value start to get filled up in the morning, like throughout the night into the morning with this breaker block, and then we just end up selling off hard as fuck again. But who knows? We could be generating all this liquidity in order to go to all-time high because that's the inevitable end. This shit's not gonna sell off forever. But with my plan, I would love to run up a bunch of money